Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel and something a little bit different because we are going to test, or do a little bit of a test between the wheel and the pad. Now one thing I kind of read quite a lot in the comments of my videos and other people's videos, and you hear people maybe in sort of stream chats as well, is this kind of, conception, or conception may not be the right word, but this sort of notion that, that the wheel is a big advantage over the pad. And well, there's plenty of pad players out there who are fast enough to compete in the absolute top splits of the World Tour Series or the GTWS series, but most of those players are going to be on the wheel as well. When they go to the World Tour events, they are on the wheel as well. But I think there is this kind of a little bit of a myth, that this thing instantly just gives you a huge advantage over somebody playing on the pad. Now I've done very little driving on the pad since Gran Turismo 5, to be perfectly honest with you. I've always had a wheel. I had a Digiforce GT wheel, and then I had the G29 when I started playing GT Sport, and then I've had a Fanatec wheel, and now I've got the Logitech G Pro. So I play 99.9% on the wheel. The only time I'll ever pick up the pad is maybe when I'm making a thumbnail for a video. But the test I want to do here is I want to do basically a 5-lap run around Interlagos in a Group 3 car on the medium tyres, tyre wear at ×1, fuel at ×1, basically set a benchmark kind of race time on the wheel, and then I'm going to give myself 5 attempts on the pad to see how close I can get to those sort of lap times and how close we can get to the finishing time, and kind of see how competitive I can get on the pad in a very short period of time. And then during the kind of course of the video, discuss the differences in where the car handles, where I feel the wheels got an advantage, where I feel the pad's got an advantage, because there's definitely advantages to the pad as well, regardless of what you might think. And yeah, for it just be an interesting little video, interesting little experiment to see, set a benchmark on the wheel, have 5 attempts on the pad, see how close we can get to it. And I've done no practice here whatsoever. If it's a lie, I've done 1 lap in the car on the wheel just to make sure the wheel's working correctly. It's always a good idea to do that when you're on the wheel. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump in and let's not do that, and do the benchmark run on the wheel. Now up at the top of the screen there, you have tyre wear and temperature and fuel. So obviously the fuel's not going to be that important, but I thought it'd be interesting to put the app up there. Whoa! Start that again. Talking too much. I thought it'd be interesting to have that up there just to maybe give a comparison on what the sort of tyre temperatures are doing between the wheel and the pad. So that's a bit of it. So we're in the prototype Lexus GT3, which I think is not necessarily the better car, but I like driving it more than I like actually driving the 2017. I was going to do the actual wheel bit in cockpit view, but the Lexus has an absolutely awful cockpit view to see what they're actually doing, so we'll stick with the old bonnet cam or roof cam. So easy just to call it the bonnet cam. It does look like a bonnet cam in this car, to be fair. So as I said, this is just me pretty much jumping in here on the wheel. 1 lap just to make sure everything is working as it should. That's not a good line through there. This is a custom race. It's with BOP on, tyre wear at ×1, fuel at ×1, so none of that's going to be a factor. I just like to always race with the actual kind of more similar race settings rather than time trial settings. That one completed. Just after the 100 metre board there, take a big chunk of that curb. Like to try and spin out there, to be fair. 3 Lexuses, or the Group 3 Lexuses, were always a little bit squidgy in the throttle. So yeah, nothing spectacular here. I just want to kind of, I mean, obviously, if I was to kind of repeat this, run 5 times on the wheel, or certainly do another 4 attempts on the wheel after this, I'm pretty sure I would go quicker than what I'll do on this first run, but it'll only be a few seconds. It's only going to be, what, 7 and a bit minutes of running, so well, just be an interesting little test, little experiment. How close can we get on the pad to our wheel time over the course of just maybe 40 minutes worth of driving? My aim is to sort of get to within maybe 3 seconds. If I can get into within 3 seconds, I've done an okay job. I'll be about 7 attempts per lap. Get to within 3 seconds within like 2 attempts, then we'll do all 5 attempts and see if we maybe even beat it. I think that's pretty unlikely. Nice car this though, I have to say, that's a nice car. For getting on the throttle a little bit eagerly with it could be. This takes me back actually. Do you know my very first sort of test video? To see if I could actually make a YouTube video on Cheer Factory. I was driving this car around this track. There you go. And it was 5 laps. It was never released, it was just a test video, it's not on the channel. Somewhat ironic that 3 years later, something like 3 years later, I'm not sure how long I've been doing this YouTube business now. Yeah, I'm doing almost the exact same thing. Laps now, what's that one? 32.0 drift line there, a little lift. Wee lift there. So yeah. Whenever I kind of jump on the pad very briefly and basically do like a single lap, I always feel that I can actually brake later though, or like the braking potential is just much better. In terms of getting the car stopped, I don't mean for like kind of modulate the brake or any kind of finesse, but for that kind of stamping on the brake and getting the car slowed down, I've always felt that the pad is actually better than the wheel for that. Believe it or not. Because like braking is very closely related to tyre wear in Gran Turismo, I do wonder if that contributes to sort of worse tyre wear you get on the pad, because you can just get that kind of instant braking potential. Maybe something for another test. I'm going to end up doing quite a lot of laps of Interlagos here by the end of this video, you know. A wee bit harder on this. Let's see if we can do like a 131.8 or something. Do a Sebastian Vettel, try and get the fastest lap on the last lap. Let's pull this up. We're down. curb. Just, I've not got the line right into that corner on one lap yet so far. Oh, oversteer there. Did one. Last corner of Interlagos where many a heart has been broken in real life and in sim life. How many times you've been on a good lap around Interlagos and made an arse of the last corner? There we go. We did get a purple lap there at the end, so we did get a purple lap. So let's 132.0 was our fastest lap there on the wheel. 132.0. I think we did two 132.0s. Let's see what that all-important finishing time is there. So 7 minutes 42.1. That is what we're aiming to try and get within. So if we get under a 7:45 on the pad, that'll be, I'd consider that quite a good job. Okay, so let's get the pad ready. And let's go. I've got it on the wire because my mic has been in the wrong place for the entire time. Yeah, hopefully that hasn't. No. Right, there's the mic fix now. Hopefully that's not had too much of an influence on the volume. Hopefully you've been able to hear me. Schoolboy error. Right, let's go. Let's not retry. So the conditions are also set to perfectly identical as well. Too bad so far. Oh, spoke too soon. Definitely struggle to be smooth on the throttle. That's one thing I'm definitely noticing. You can do one thing I've also noticed though, like you notice it straight away when you go from wheel to pad, is it just how quickly you can correct oversteer moments. Now, obviously you don't want to be having oversteer moments in the first place, but so I definitely broke later there than what I did in the wheel. It's just so hard to be smooth with this wee thumbstick. Really steady. one kind of interesting thing. I'm still getting the force feedback from the wheel through the rig. So the true force, I don't notice it when I'm driving on the wheel, but the true force is actually vibrating the rig a little bit. Oh, that's terrible. 133.1, what's that, about a second off? Second off the best lap we did on the wheel. Not sure how that's faster, to be honest with you. A twitch there as well, oh, got a good exit. In this one. Oh, that's faster. Probably gonna be faster now. Yeah, so it's just as smooth, and it's so hard. I'm finding it so difficult to be smooth, and don't get me wrong, we're 3 laps into this. Definitely really push the braking though on these big braking zones. I feel like I can be kind of more brave on the brakes because I just get that instant braking straight away. As I say, probably bad for the tyres, but three devs up this time. It's a 32.7 potential, so we're not a million miles off. I never seen what my kind of optimal was on the wheel, to be fair. Oh man, we've got a 31.7 maybe at best. Interesting to see what progress I make here on the pad, if any, as well. Oi! This should be a purple lap anyway. I broke probably 5 metres later than I was on the wheel, and still got the car quite easily stopped. I need to change my brake pedal or something. That didn't do me any good in terms of lap time. Felt faster. Oof. A bit faster as well. Look like we did the last corner as well though. That was a big chunk of time out there. And so here's run 1 complete then. A 32.4 to finish. Get that all important thing. What was it? 742.1 to beat. We've not beat that obviously because we know the lap times were slower. But where are we? 746.4, so 4.3 seconds. 4.3 seconds slower than our run on the wheel with the first run on the pad. So yeah, let's get into run number 2. Itchy nose. Wee drink of the Iron Brew. And we go again. Exit that. Retry. Now, theoretically we should get better here. Not the greatest first corner you're ever going to see in your life. Right, so I reckon we can get under the 745 marker this time. And then we can just push on to see if we can actually beat what we did on the wheel. Of course, I know I can go faster on the wheel. Like if we did exactly, give us 5 tests on the wheel. I could probably do another way. I'd probably do sort of constant 31s. And get that down to maybe what, a 740, maybe even breach the 740 mark. As it stands, the benchmark, the wheel time is you're already getting smoother on the throttle. That's got to be at least a second faster than the open lap on the first run. Oh, that's an absolutely awful turn one though. Oh, that's so bad. Shocking. That's a tough corner. Definitely feel that's a sort of it's that turn 4. I think that's the sort of corner you get such an advantage on the wheel. You just get that rotation that you want. Jeez, oh. What, they're getting better, not worse. Yeah, maybe that's one of the kind of, the consistency you can get on the wheel compared to the pad. Probably one of the biggest factors. Although I do like the way I can just power out the throttle there, give a little bit of opposite lock and correct the car. Do that on the wheel of course as well, but it just seems easier to do on the pad. It's a bad opening lap. That could be a penalty. Oh, what's going on? Trying too hard now, I think. Well, ignore that. It's a custom race, so there's no way penalty gates or anything. It's all good. Oh, yeah, we've kept the throttle in there. much better lap. Say for turn 1. Every time I say that, I just start messing up. I think it's easier to talk and drive on the wheel than it is to talk and drive with this pad. Oh, broke in very late there. Nice, we get rid of that penalty so it doesn't affect our finishing time. Oh, was I braking too early? Purple baby, who knows? That's just shocking. It's just, it's so twitchy. Car, where are you going? First lap felt so good as well, now I'm just all over the place. Probably just trying to push too hard. I don't think we're getting under 7:45 on this run, that's for sure. Shift into third there. Remember that for the next run. Nice last corner. Yeah, I did a 32.2 for the optimal. We are kind of approaching the wheel times to a certain degree. 32.6 there, so that was a bad run to be fair, that was not a great run. Here it was. 7:46.5. I don't know if that's added the penalty on or not, but you know, it's round about the same as the first one. Good first lap. 3 bad laps, then a pretty decent last lap as well, so okay. We are static, we're not making any improvements. Let's go again though. Let's go again. That felt quite good. This is the corner I'm really struggling with. Get like, just any time I do it. I even think I'm going down to second gear on the wheel. I feel like I've got to go down to second on the pad. Try and get the rotation in, because I can't quite do it on the brakes. Boy, steady cat. It's a good corner. It was a good exit of the corner. It wasn't such a good entry into it. But too shabby an opening lap. Not too shabby. I definitely think you see at the turn one, I definitely think I can brake later on the pad. But this corner here doesn't quite feel the same on the braking. Let's brake a little bit earlier than what I have been. Let's leave it in third. Well, that was better. Okay, right, we're learning. That was a decent corner. Some track limits there. Let's get a decent lap. 2 corners to go. I curse myself when I say that though. Course. Well, I do feel I'm getting a little bit better modulating the throttle now. Still 32 despite that mistake. Really stretching track limits now with it. That's what allows you to do it, Interlagos. Down at the first four there. I'm assuming it was first. I can't actually see my gears because of the wheel, but need to cough. Apologies. Pardon me. There. Oh, 32.3. Fastest lap yet on the pad. Oh, what is that? Excited. Six steps we lost. 6 steps up in that last one. that run done then, isn't it? That was annoying. Got another decent lap there as well. I think that's ruined any chance of getting under 7:45. Get it to 0 optimal now. That's as fast as we were doing on the wheel. Could be a cut. Should be a cut really, but in terms of the game you can normally do that. Sector that, wasn't that 23.4? Over the line. Oh, it's a 45.6. We lost 2 seconds in that blooming bad lap as well. So we've been down in the 43s. So we know the potential's there. 7:45.6 is still. I think that's pretty much. I think all 3 runs have been within a tenth of each other now. That's Eileen. 2 more runs to go though. 2 more runs to go. Not replay, retry, let's go again. To be honest, like, whenever I start these runs, the car actually feels quite good, so I wonder if I'm getting a lot of sort of... I've not really been looking at the temperatures, so I can't really see them. I wonder if I'm kind of sliding the car about so much, I'm heating the tyres up, and that's why it starts to feel a little bit more sketchy as the run goes on. I do think I'm making progress here on the pad. I do feel more comfortable, certainly. I did, what, half an hour ago? 20 minutes ago, to be more accurate. Stop the car. I'm certainly understanding why I sometimes think people are about to go and head into the boonies and then somehow manage to recover it. You can recover the car quite easily on the pad from quite extreme oversteering moments. It's maybe not fast, but you certainly can recover the car quite easily. Good gear change. sure. I didn't feel particularly good this lap, I felt a bit messy. Very good. Oh, in. Preferred. Correct it. Should be a better first sector at least. I know. That was very good corner though. So the aim here, no 33s allowed. Ah, lovely. Get in, rotate, rotate, rotate. Early upshift, stop the oversteer. Stop at that. Oh! Stop saying that. Oh, got oversteer. 7 tenths up. 31.8 optimal. We're flying on the pad now, folks. We're flying. That's it. I'm getting rid of my wheel. Everybody want a Logitech G Pro wheel? Sell it, £800. I'm getting brave now, I'm getting brave. Yeah, 1.6 optimal. Yeah, 1.6. Fast, that is faster, I think, than we did on the wheel. Sugar. Excited by that purple sector there. Excited. Then made an arse of it. How often does that happen in time trial though, eh? How often, especially on this track as well. Don't know how many times you kind of get a purple sector there. One corner to go. Make a Horlicks of it. What did I double upshift for, you tube? Definitely under the 45. Well, I don't think it's going to be as fast as the wheel run though. I think that 32.8 probably scuppered any chances of that. But another 32 zeros there. I don't think the first lap was great either. Let's see what this finish time's going to be. Oh, we're a 10th off. 742.2, 1/10 off what we did on the wheel. Yeah, that 32.8, absolutely. That 32.8 destroyed it. You know, we do an average lap that we're now doing on the pad, a 32.5, a 32.4, and we would have went faster than the wheel there. So let's, we've got one run left. Let's go full send on this one. Let's go full send. Shabby start, not too shabby a start. Definitely learnt a lot over the run here though with the pad. Definitely, you know, much smoother. Everything's just better. Although it's still easy to get twitchy moments. Whoa! Steady, cowboy. Decent first lap, I think. Maybe in the 32s for the first lap. But oh, dun 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 dun. That's what I think, you know. I think if I'd done what I just did there on the wheel, I'm dead. Because you get that kind of instant response from the sticks to kind of correct the moment. I think you can save a lot of these moments on the pad that you might well be struggling to save on the wheel, believe it or not. Hello, Mr. Marshall person. You're not a marshal. You're not wearing orange. Anyway, we'll call that one a pushing too hard failure. So we will. But there you have it. There we have it. 5 runs on the pad, and by the 4th run, we had got down to pretty much the same speed we were doing on the wheel. Now, does this prove that the wheel and the pad are the same? Of course it doesn't, because we only did the 1 run on the wheel to get a benchmark, and then we gave ourselves much more time to try and get to the same speed on the pad. But what it does go to show is that, you know, you can get there with the pad. There's not a huge gulf in speed. Now, don't get me wrong, I think if I kind of did 3 or 4 runs on the wheel, I'd get that below like the 740 mark into the 39, 739, 740, maybe even 738, but we were kind of, you know, going to sort of get down into the 741s on the pad, and I'm not going to kind of unlearn and kind of overcome 10 years of driving the game on this in half an hour on the pad. But hopefully, well, to me, it's kind of demonstrated to me, you know, that the speed is there on the pad. There is advantages as well. Believe me, I could brake so much later into turn 1 on the gamepad than I could on the wheel. You just get that instant braking response. As I said, probably worse for your tyre wear, probably doesn't help your tyre wear, which is maybe one of the things that contributes to the worst tyre wear on pad over the wheel. And again, you get those twitchy moments which you don't really want, I suppose. Really easy to save on the pad. Probably would save it on the wheel as well, but I think it'd be like maybe a more costly kind of save. But yeah, just the smoothness and the kind of small movements and stuff on the wheel, just so much more comfortable for me. But yeah, quite an interesting little test, I thought. Quite an interesting little test. But yeah, you know, there's not a gulf. There's definitely not a gulf between the pad and the wheel. And maybe some people think there is. And it's, be honest with you, it's a different skill set. They're two completely different skill sets. They're not transferable, I don't think. The knowledge of how to get the car around the track and where to place the car and the gearing and all that is obviously transferable. But what you're doing on each of the inputs and your peripheral, and that's not the word I'm looking for. But yeah, the kind of what you're actually doing is completely different. You know, what's required of you. You know, the coordination between your hands and your feet on the wheel is completely different compared to the coordination of your hands and your fingers, I guess, on the pad. But we'll leave it at that. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think of the video in the comments below as well. Give me some constructive criticism, some feedback. You know, did this interest you? Did it make you change your mind? Has it kind of given you a different opinion maybe? But yeah, overall conclusion I think from the test was that I think you could be probably 99.97% as fast on the pad as you can on the wheel. But the wheel is definitely, I think the consistency, I think, you know, is what kind of get hammered home there to me, is that, you know, you could just be so much more consistent with the placement of the car. The car doesn't seem quite as erratic because you're just being more smooth. But yeah, this, in terms of speed, it's definitely there. But yeah, as I said, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button if you liked the video. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye now.